Hi, you guys, and welcome to Reshape TV. My next guest, culinary showman, Chef Sharon Hackman, had a major reshape in his life when he left the corporate world to follow his passion for food by pursuing a career as a chef. He then went on to compete on Gordon Ramsay's wildly popular show, MasterChef on Fox. This exposure catapulted him into the culinary world, appearing as a resident chef on shows like Cocktails with Chloe and one of my co-hosts on Hollywood Today Live on Fox. But what I love most about this guy is that he's always focused on the food. He's now the chef and founder of the global food brand called Haks, producing organic sauces, salad dressings, and meal kits, all made with integrity and quality. Please welcome Chef Sharon Hackman.
Hi, Allie. Thanks for having me.
It's so great to see
Good
you.
to see you again, too.
I mean, last time we saw each other, we were actually, well, we worked together on Hollywood Today Live,
Right.
and then I ran by your booth once I found out that you were at Natural Expo West, and you showed me like some of your incredible new products, which I now have in my pantry. So that's a good thing. So before we jump into the food, I want to talk about your personal reshape story. And it sounds like you're still doing it, right? We were just sort of talking. And how you left, you know, the corporate world to really dive into this world of food, and you became a chef. So what made, I mean, what was that decision like? It's a big jump.
Oh my God. So there's so much that I can say. I'm trying to like think of how I can condense this, but I will say this to anyone who's watching this and to you. I always had a burning desire to want to build and create something that was bigger than me. And I never knew what that was. I grew up here in Los Angeles. I was a Jewish kid, went to actually elementary school about a mile away from here.
Oh my gosh.
And both my parents and their parents were immigrants, right? And I was like, go to school, get a good job, you know, and just follow that, right? Like security, safety, all that. And I did that. I got a job, and I became a financial advisor at the age of 19. I started selling, my first job was 17 years old, and I made 500 cold calls every single day. And I'll never forget, I got some of the best lessons in my life, so many no's, and I think I'm a better person for it now. But, you know, I knew that I wanted to do something more, just couldn't figure out what my passion was. And I finally did. I finally realized that I love food. I'd come home, I would cook. I would just enjoy cooking so much. I would just be in the moment. You know, in today's life and time, you're so busy, things are always at you. There's few things that you get to do where you're truly immersed and present in the moment. And for me, cooking it does that. It's one of the few things. And I realized that, and sort of certain things started happening. So again, long story short, I was supposed to take a year off. I told my parents and my wife's parents, that my wife and Monica and I, my wife, we're going to go take a year off. We're going to go to Italy for 6 months.
Well, that's good.
And Israel for 6 months. And I was just going to cook, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can imagine the reaction that my in-laws had at that time. Like, are you nuts?
Like, how are you providing for our child?
Exactly.
Our daughter.
And funny thing was, about 3 weeks before we were supposed to take off, Monica's pregnant. And I was like, oh my God. Like, there's
really
no way.
For a man, that's like, you know.
There's no way I'm going to cook in Italy for 6 months with a pregnant wife. Like, what? So I got back, and we took a month vacation. I got back, and I was like, all right, I mean, I'm about to be a dad, so I'll start working. Luca, who's my oldest, he was born on January 2nd. And 3 days after then, I worked for a big banking institution, one of the largest in the country, if not the world. And I had my meeting with my boss on the 6th of the month. 4 days later, and I'll never forget, I got in the car after he was born. He was born at Cedars, right down from here. And I get in the car and I listen to XM Chill, which is this chill radio station. And the music is just this ambient thing as if you're chilling on the beach. But the lyrics were, what are you waiting for? Are you ready to live your life before you lose it?
You still remember that?
I'll never forget it. And I had this sort of moment, like, I don't know, like the air was that much cleaner, the sun was that much brighter. And I had this moment, I was like, I'm a dad, and I want to raise my son like to live his dream, and I want to lead by example. I met with my boss on the 6th.
This is great.
And I quit.
Oh my gosh.
I swear, I just quit. I left. I didn't tell my wife. I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell anybody for 2 weeks. I had massive anxiety attacks.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It was insane.
And then?
And then I had this notebook of all these different business ideas. And I kept this note. It's a yellow legal pad that I'm sure everybody at home's seen or owns. And I would just jot down random ideas. funny thing is, I still have that notebook.
Oh, that's great.
And 90% of those ideas were all food related. And a friend of mine tells me about a show called Master Chef. Auditions were at the Grove, 5 minutes from my house.
From your house.
And I was like, okay, I don't really want to do TV. I've never done TV. I'm born and raised in LA, so I'm one of the few.
Yeah, that aren't in the business.
And I'm super jaded to it. I'm like,
Right.
I don't want to be in TV. And she's like, what do you have to lose? My wife's like, what do you have to lose? I said, okay. I get there. The line was 8 hours long. I cut. I got in 20 minutes. And next thing I know, I was on the show. And I walked away from that just knowing I love food. I love everything about this. And I'm going full into it. I'm going to figure it out. This is my journey. This is my calling. So yeah.
Wow. So that show was a big moment in your life, being on that show. Was that when the whole idea for Haks was born on the show?
Yeah. You know, in retrospect, I look now, it's so much bigger than what it was. And I knew that in my heart and in my soul and in my gut that there was something big that I wanted to do. But you got to start somewhere. You got to figure it out. And when I was on Master Chef, we had one of the challenges. We had this big barbecue cookout for about 2,000 Marines down in Camp Pendleton. And I made about a 15-gallon batch of my Chipotle bourbon barbecue sauce. And Gordon tells me, Sharon, that's the best fucking barbecue sauce I've ever had. Straight up like that.
Wow.
And yeah, you know, Gordon.
Well, that's like a moment, though.
That's a moment.
For this guy to tell you that, big deal.
I went back, went down on my notebook.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
And barbecue sauce was there. The show was over. I was trying to figure out what business plan I wanted to do, what I wanted to do. I'm at the grocery store, and I'm walking down the barbecue aisle. I'm like, there's nobody doing anything good here. It's all just high fructose corn syrup, water, junk, preservatives, loaded and blasted with sugar and stuff that just has nothing there. Like, I can do this better. I had no background in consumer packaged goods, in food manufacturing, and anything in that sense, right? But I put my head down. I found a local manufacturer here in Orange County, made a 70-gallon batch of it, put a down payment on it, loaded it all up in my place, and went door to door, literally in this neighborhood, selling barbecue sauce.
That story is so inspiring for so many people because you really just followed your passion and you did it.
Exactly it.
And nothing was going to stand in your way. Like I'm doing it, and that's it. Wow. So I have to say, I'm very proud to say that before I even met you, that I owned a bottle of your barbecue sauce. It was in my refrigerator. And I remember when I went, it was on, not Larchmont, sorry, on Fountain. I went to this really small boutique grocery store. And I was like, I need a great, I'm from Louisiana, I wanted a barbecue. So I need a really great barbecue sauce. Like, what's the best? And they gave me 2 different ones. And I was looking at them and looking at the packaging and reading the ingredients. And this was the one I went with, this one right here. And then I met you, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already such a fan of your brand. And in the beginning, you did just start with barbecue sauce. But now today, you know, Haks has really seamlessly transitioned to just a great lineup of products. Can you kind of go through what's going on now with Haks?
Sure.
It's very exciting stuff.
I know, it really is. You know, and I think that for anybody out there, life is a journey, right? And you got to keep improving. And I love the idea of just never giving up and finding inspiration, finding ways to just improve on things, improve on myself as a parent, as a father, as a business person, as a chef. And so this journey of where I'm at with the products that we have has really grown from just, okay, I made barbecue sauce. Everyone told me with barbecue sauce, well, nobody needs a premium barbecue sauce. Who's going to pay $6 for a bottle of barbecue sauce where I can buy it for 99 cents? But we're in over 10,000 stores around the country.
It's incredible.
And so from there, it's grown to, okay, I make sauces. We started with our cooking sauces, which are my one-pot cooking sauces.
Which I love. I just want to tell everybody, so you know, because I know Sharon and I, of course, want to support him, I have all of these in my pantry.
Thanks.
But what I did not do, that I just want to tell you, because I know you guys are going to go buy some Haks after you see this interview, is go to the website, because you have these amazing videos where you're preparing things with the food, which I love, and also just great recipes. So all the, you know, I was doing my own version, like, oh, I could do this, and I look at their little recipe in the back. But on the website, you really have some creative stuff. So check that out with the sauces. Okay, so the sauces is one, and let's go to my favorite.
Yeah.
You want to introduce it?
Sure.
The meal kit? So
yeah.
Sharon, well, let me do it because I love it so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Please.
Sharon calls me, sends me a message and says, I want to send you something. What's your address? So I was like so excited, of course, because I love food.
And this was like, what, a week and a half before I was ready to launch this.
Yeah, this was before it was out.
So everybody knows, I sent this to my closest people who I trust and who are big foodies, and Allie is a big foodie.
Huge.
So I really wanted your honest, unbiased opinion before I was about to launch this out at Costco's all across LA. So,
okay, so I get this in the mail, and it's this, and I am super duper excited because it looks beautiful, right? So I wait about 4 or 5 days to prepare it. I think we might have gone out of town. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's not going to be, the vegetables are not going to be fresh. When I opened that package, that broccoli was so green and so fresh and so crisp.
Right.
So that was my first blown away moment, right? And then I opened the chicken and it's already pre-marinated.
Yes.
And I'm like, thank you.
Yes.
But here I am, as a busy mom, I feel like this was actually your personal gift to me. Because that day that I made this meal, I felt so good to serve it to my family because I know you are a stickler for your ingredients.
Yes.
And when you see what's in here, everything is super, super clean. Yeah. And really, you made it with the family in mind.
Yeah.
I still prepared that food for my kids and for my family.
Yeah.
And they were so excited, so it made me really excited. So I actually texted him and I was like, you made me look so good. It was so good.
Thank you so much.
I need this in my life. I told him it's going to go in my weekly rotation. And you just told me you have another one coming out, or a few more coming out.
I have a few more coming out late summer, so I'm really excited about it. This was just, again, going bold, dreaming big.
This is big.
This is big. It was a monstrous, ambitious task because moreover than anything else, and you were talking about the ingredients, on the side of the box, right over here, I was like, every farm, everywhere that I source every one of my ingredients, I want you, or whoever's taking this home, to have just a radical level of transparency with where our ingredients are being sourced from, because that matters to me. I cannot make a product that I don't feel I wouldn't put on my own family's table. And this is something I would cook for my family every day. And I would just do it in a way that's convenient, right? Like one pan. When you were cooking that broccolini and you got to do it in all that chicken left over in the same pan.
That I did in the chicken. That made me super excited.
And it makes it so much more flavorful too.
Yeah.
And that's the idea behind it. And it's just like, how can I bring my chef game, so chef-driven stuff, but convenience without the compromise, because so much in food is compromised when it comes to convenience. There's so much junk out there and so many big companies out there that know better, and yet they don't make the conscious decision every day to be mindful and aware of the ingredients that they're using in the foods that they produce. And that's not my game. That's not what we're about. And I'm proud of that. And you have no idea, moreover than any level of success to anybody who watches, and I've always been challenged, how do you measure success? Well, how big is your company? How much money are you generating? To me, you saying what you said to me about that smile with you and your family and how I made your life easy, that's the best gift that I can ever ask for. That's exactly why I did it.
No, I still remember that moment. And going back to the ingredients, it's organic, it's sustainable, it's sourced from local farms, it's clean. I can open up any package, and I do. Yeah. I do, because I'm a busy mom. I open up a package and do a meal, and it helps me because it's something to get on the table for the kids, and it's sort of healthy. Yeah. But this, I felt so good about giving the kids. So, like you said, when you're doing something at this level, right, for the masses, it's easy to kind of cut corners. But
absolutely.
You really, really did, and I know that's a harder road, and
it is.
And I know that it means a lot to you.
It is. It's a much harder road, and every penny counts. But at the same point, there's got to be a level of, well, what are you doing this for?
Yeah.
What is your calling? What is your purpose? And like I said, to me, it's about making the best tasting food I can possibly make without taking one step down in my level of integrity and quality. It's the bar is always here. If I can't give it to my own kids, I'll never make the product.
See, that's why I love it, because I know that you're that way. So I was like, I know how picky he is. I remember when you would show up in the dressing room with look, we're eating all kinds of crazy stuff, even myself. Well, I was pretty good. I had my egg, my avocado. But this one comes in, this big guy comes with a little thing of blueberries and his little and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to step up my health game. So I know you, and that's why I trust that you really hooked me up when it came to the ingredients with this
Food
product.
is medicine, right? We talk about that all the time.
Medicine.
It's so medicine.
That's
and this is something that's again, and then, aside, like the chicken, it's marinated, the sauce is done for you. So the idea of like, there's a chimichurri in here, right? The idea of chopping up parsley and cilantro and garlic and doing all that. I did it all for you. It's all there in a patch.
I did it in 30 minutes.
Done.
Okay, so please more.
Okay.
More.
I've got 2 more coming.
More. Okay, so let's just go through real quick where everybody gets it. So 10,000 stores, right? So
yes.
I think everybody, you guys should check your local grocer, right?
Yeah, or online,
first,
either way.
Or online, because they could shop on Haks as well,
easily.
right?
We have free delivery and
free delivery. I love
free
free delivery. So when you go to Haks, if you're going to buy on Haks, also be sure to check out the videos and the really great recipes on some cool ways to use this. And this specifically, how can people get this one?
I know this is tough because logistically it was such a, so for anybody who is in LA, you can find this exclusively at Costco LA.
Okay.
And then further out, it will be launching in some retailers. I can't say yet when, but it will be launching in some really nice premium retailers, like one maybe across the street from here in the next month, if anybody knows where this location is.
Okay.
But yeah, in the next month or two, and then we've got a few more recipes that are coming out. Or if you're in the greater LA, you can also order it online, like through DoorDash or Grubhub. And if you don't want to go to Costco, it'll be at your place in 30 minutes.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
and thank you for sharing your story and the story of Haks with us. And we'll be sure to look out for all the other amazing products. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
I know that
so
much more is to come.
Thank you.
And just congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for having me.